It's another episode of your favorite podcast, the Ultimate Intimacy Podcast, with my beautiful wife, Amy, and just me. And welcome to the podcast today. We're going to make this a fun podcast today. Amy had a brilliant idea.
I did?
Yeah, your idea
Which
was
one?
brilliant.
Which one?
Just on what we're doing the podcast
Ah.
subject on, which are the things that we didn't realize when we got married. And we're going to make this fun.
Oh my goodness. 20, almost 24 years in, we met. Okay, hold on. I think we should start this
We
episode
should.
by
Yeah,
a little bit of a story,
And
okay?
people are gonna think, oh my heck, I'm listening to
You
these
guys
two.
are
They are
insane.
crazy.
You're insane. I'm not listening anymore. No, just kidding. Do listen. Um, Listen because we're kind of crazy and we've made it almost 24 years okay, I'm just gonna share this story. We met on a blind date. I think we shared this a long time ago, though. On a blind date, hit it off.
Totally hit it off.
Totally hit it off that night. Had never met before. And Nick proposed 3 weeks later.
Hold on.
That's the story.
Yes, I know that is true. She's spitting facts. However, should we start off even earlier?
No. What do you mean? There is no earlier.
Yeah, we tried to get set up for like a year.
Oh, well, your friend had made a comment that you should meet some girl, but that wasn't anything special. We had never met and it had never happened.
Oh,
But
we had never met, obviously, because if I knew what she looked like, I would have had that blind date
you
like
mean
20
the other
seconds
way
later.
around. So we hit it off and we had lots of fun and we were inseparable after that. And Nick was insane and I was also insane. And I said yes 3 weeks later.
Okay, I was 25. I mean, I had dated enough. I knew what I was
26,
looking
yeah.
for. Wasn't like I was like 15 or anything. So I mean, I had some experience with the ladies as far as dating.
Yeah. And yeah, we won't say I was a little younger, but we were married. Let's see, we met 6 days after Valentine's Day on February 20th. We were engaged by the middle of March and we were married by the end of June.
Yeah.
We have been married 24 years in June. So
To this day, my dad asks, he's like, was it just because you were a 25-year-old virgin? Like, I mean, is that why you got married so fast? The answer is no.
That's not why I got
If
married.
if I could wait 25 years, I could wait another
Yeah.
a little while. Yeah. Anyways, jumping into this podcast.
So the reason we thought this would be fun is because we often have the conversation in our marriage like, dang, we made it 24 years. We've gone through some stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what is the biggest thing that you've learned or that you were like, I had no idea this was going to happen in marriage, or I was completely surprised by this in marriage kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and no one teaches. I mean, I've talked about this, and I think we'll do a podcast on this coming up real soon, but no one teaches you how to be married.
No.
Here you are, two different people with totally different parents, the way you're raised. You might have been raised in different places, different cultures for some people, sometimes different religious backgrounds. I mean,
Lots of stuff,
you
yeah.
get raised totally different, and now you're put together, and get along. Good luck to you. And no one tells you anything. No one talks about sex. No one tells you anything.
Emotional intimacy. Most men don't know what emotional intimacy even is. Well, she was all over me at the beginning. Now I got to work at it. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, we'll do a podcast on that. That'll be a fun one as well. So, but Amy and I thought it'd be fun. I listed 3 things. She listed 3 things.
Things listed out in like 10 seconds, and Nick's like, I can't think of any.
No, I had gold on number 1 and 2, but I asked her.
Can I borrow one?
A little bit of help on number 3, which she came through. So
I was like, I got a whole list.
And I have no idea what hers is. She has no idea what mine.
Yeah, we have not shown our list to each other.
So this is going to be fun. Do you want me to start out? I think you ladies first. I think that's a polite gentleman thing to do.
It's a really fun thing to do in your own marriage one night, like on date night, or just one night when you're cuddling to bed and being like, what is the biggest thing you have like been surprised with being married or something like that?
Okay.
I think it's a great conversation.
Now before we jump in, I just want to say like, it's okay to bring up something that is just the way it is, right? Like,
it is?
Yeah. I don't, people are going to, we have some people listen to the podcast and be like, oh my heck, they disagreed. Like, I thought they had the perfect marriage. It's okay to disagree. We joke around. We do disagree. We do have arguments sometimes. Like, we're a normal couple.
Right.
So as we list these things, it'll be fun to see Amy's response and my response. So,
You won't be shocked by mine. You'll be like, yep, we've talked about that. Yep, we've talked about that. There are things that
and most people are going to be
common.
shaking their
Yeah.
heads. From my three things, most men are going to be shaking their heads, and from your things, most women are going to be shaking their heads. So,
All right, you want me to go first? Well, we'll go
oh,
back and forth.
ladies
We'll go back and
first.
forth. Okay. Uh, I wrote patience, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Most of you that listen to this podcast regularly, do I seem like the type of guy that you could be patient with?
The kind on the podcast, absolutely.
Yeah.
The kind the first 10 years. Ooh,
Oh, the 10 years.
tricky.
Okay.
First 10 years. Oh my gosh. I was like, I did not even know that I had to learn this kind of patience. I have had to have patience in God. I have had to have patience in myself. And the patience I've had to have with you was like, oh, I had no idea I was in for that. No idea. If you know our story, I had no idea I was in for
And
that.
yet the scriptures say patience is a virtue. So
And
you are a very virtuous
I
woman.
have become more virtuous. I have not conquered this test yet, so I'm sure God will give me more.
No, and I think some men could say, well, yeah, I got to be patient with my wife and wait three
I
weeks and wait 3 weeks till she's in the mood.
no. Um, I just want to talk about this one just for a second, though. I think that every couple listening is smiling and thinking, "Oh my goodness, the patience, the testing, the level of patience I have had to have being married to the opposite sex because we are so incredibly different."
That's true.
Is insane, right?
That's
Like
true.
it's
Yeah.
and isn't we I mean we've talked about this. Like marriage is like the biggest test you're ever going to have in your life. Like you are tested in every aspect of your personality when you get married, right? You have to pass the test of not just patience, but understanding and caring and selfishness and pride, selflessness, pride. Like all those things are tested. And
Hmm.
so okay. So patience, but I want to say what I've learned. Okay. Besides the patience, communication really does solve a lot though, if you are number one, both willing to talk, listen, and care. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, I wanted to add that because patience comes from learning how to communicate. I don't want to sit and talk about communication, but like our patience has like come from like trying to understand each other. I'm trying to understand how you were raised. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from with that. I'm trying to understand why you want to do that and why I'm so different and why you're built differently than me and you think differently than me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like understanding and
100%.
listening and caring and communicating about those things is what has made me more
And
patient.
and I think every couple out there is shaking their head and agree with that. Like
Yeah,
that we are built differently,
we are.
right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's pretty normal.
Okay, that's my first one. What's yours?
All right.
I think we're gonna get spicier, I think.
That when your wife says nothing's wrong, it really means that she's pissed off at you. So,
Sometimes really nothing is wrong, and I just don't want to talk as much as you do.
well, no, so
That is true.
no, so sometimes like I can sense Amy like something's wrong. I'm like, hey babe, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong.
Okay, but it's about the
Hold
tone
on,
of voice,
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. No, I can tell there's something wrong. Did I do something? Nothing's wrong. Sweetheart,
Say
just tell
that.
me what's going on. Let's get this resolved. Nothing's wrong. So now that doesn't happen all the time, but
Very
that's
limited.
what I've learned is when your wife tells you that nothing's wrong, it usually means something's wrong.
I don't want to argue with that. I don't
So,
want to
am
argue
I
with
right
that.
most of the time?
In the past, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So,
So you're
I
saying
would say,
you're saying two things. Number one, you're saying it's how they say it,
oh, absolutely.
right?
Nothing's wrong.
Nothing's wrong.
And
I'm
then
fine.
walking away.
I'm fine. That's something's wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
You've learned that.
Oh,
Okay.
I learned that. Yes.
I don't remember what the second one is because I can't remember anything
So,
anymore.
so obviously, we have gotten better at this, or Amy's gotten better at this as far as like communication instead of just holding it in, like saying, yeah, this bothered me. This is what I'm frustrated about. And okay, in our relationship, I think we've talked about this in the podcast enough. Like I hate to say this because I am a manly man, but I probably have a little more like feminine instincts as far as like I like to talk and I don't like when Amy's not feeling great. Like some men are just like, fine, deal with your stuff
Dude,
and
you got hormone issues.
I'll
I'll
see you
talk
in
to you
a
in a
I'll see
couple
you in a
days.
week.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little more sensitive and I like to resolve things and talk about things. I'm definitely more communication and talk about things in our marriage, which is fine. Doesn't mean one's right or one's wrong. So when Amy's like, nothing's wrong, I'm like trying to pry it out of her, like, hey, just tell me what's wrong. Let's get this resolved immediately. And she's like, nothing's wrong. Just
He just wants to be
go
my
to bed.
best friend and know everything that's happening.
So every couple's out there is different. Everyone's
Yep.
personality and
Yep.
communication style is different. Find what works for you.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the first on my list.
Can I just say something though?
Yeah,
Like I would tell you what's wrong and then nothing would change. And then you would say, what's wrong? And I'd be like, I told
the
you,
same
and
thing
nothing
last
would
week.
change. And
That's
the
true.
same thing's wrong. And you wouldn't listen. And then I would be like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Nothing's wrong.
That's true.
So I think
Yeah,
we're both
that's
guilty on
true.
this one. Okay.
Yeah. No, we're better at
Okay,
that for
we're
sure.
much better at that. And sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to be honest with you. And that's better response, I think, than nothing's wrong in lying about it, right? It's never
Say,
okay to
I
lie.
just don't want to talk to you right now. Like, cool.
I'm
That's
really
cool.
bugged. I'm in my hormonal stage of the month that I just don't talk to
Just
me.
leave me
I
alone.
love you though. I love you. End it with it. I love you and everything will be fine.
That's You're a jerk. I love you.
I love you. No, not like
I
that.
hate you. I love you.
No, don't ever
No,
say
I
that.
know. I'm just joking. We would never say that to
Okay,
each
saying
other.
I love you doesn't fix everything. It just, if you're like, I don't want to talk right now, maybe I
I'm
love you
making
would
a
help.
joke. Don't say those things.
Okay, number 2 on my list. Are
Number
you
2 on
ready?
your list. I don't know. I'll tell you
Okay.
afterwards.
Oh my gosh, I still have 4 on the list.
Well, okay. You have a longer list than
I
I
have a
do.
longer list of things I've learned. This
Longer
one is
list
not
of
going to shock you
grievances.
guys because I say it all the time. Marriage before the kids. And I want to tell you why I am so hardcore about this statement. Because my kids are moving out, guys. I'm going to start bawling my eyes out. My son's in college. My daughter's getting ready to leave us. She's like my bestie besides Nick. They grow up so fast. I think when you're in the toddler years, you're like, kids, they're so cute. They're like 2, 3, 4, 5. They're so cute. Then they kind of get that annoying kind of like 9 to 13, like just weird stage. Still cute, but not quite as cute. All of a sudden they hit teenagers. I'm really, really close to our teen. We have all teenagers now besides
Yeah.
our adult son who's out. And like it's the best age ever. Like I can't even tell you like how much fun I'm having. I love our teenagers. Like we have such good relationships with our kids that like I love them so
Okay,
much.
I'm just gonna pause you there because you're right. You're right. But our daughter's got a serious boyfriend, and Amy is living that experience with her. Like
I am. It's so
15
fun.
hours a day. I feel like Amy's dating him as well as I mean, I'm
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 I'm watching this and I'm like, holy smokes, like it's almost like Amy's redating again. Like,
I'm living the passion, falling in love, excitement through my daughter, and then I get to think about how fun it was to be at that stage when I met you.
oh, that's so sweet.
No, but I'm watching her like fall in love with somebody, and she's kind of like finding that person. That's my whole point is like they're moving on. Like I've got another daughter that's starting to date someone and she wants to be with it. They're leaving the nest. That's my point. Like I'm watching each kid either move out or move on. They're like I was like their best, I was their favorite person and now they found someone
Yeah.
else. And that's what life is, right? Like that's how it's supposed to be. That's what I want for them.
The herd is thinning out.
It's thinning out, but I'm like, in a few years, it's just going to be us again. And like, I'm glad that I realized that our marriage needs to come first and it needs to stay passionate. And I need to like prioritize it. And we need to keep doing date nights. We're in a really busy stage of life, but like, it's going to be just that we were on a walk the other night and I was like, Nick, what the crap are we going to do in, what is it, 5, 6 years when our kids are gone?
What
and
was
he's
my
like,
response?
he's like, we're going to visit the grandkids, you know? And go on vacations
and
hang out every day.
We'll be going to lunch. We'll be golfing. We'll be hiking. We'll be traveling. We'll be
If we're not working too much. Yeah.
if we're not working too much. That's true. Oh yeah, we got to work.
Oh yeah.
That's right. We do have a full time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So my point is I'm glad that I have recognized it, especially being a mom, because I hear from so many husbands that just say, my wife just pours into the kids. They pour into the kids. The kids come first. It's ruining our marriage. And sometimes the other way around. And I'm just so glad that I've like recognized that early enough in our marriage to still be working on us, because at the end of the day, it is us.
Yeah.
It is us. We started with us. We are ending with us. Our whole rest of our lives, after a short little period that we get to raise our kids, is still just us. And so that important that, and I don't want to get into this is why your marriage should come first for your kids. We have given our kids a really healthy foundation of, as much as we can, a healthy and happy home because of
Yeah.
our marriage. And I firmly had no idea that that's what I was going to feel like when I got into marriage. I felt at the beginning because you're madly in love and infatuated and so hot at the beginning, right?
So hot?
It's just so hot and fun in the
Oh, I thought you
beginning.
said I was so hot in the beginning.
No,
Implying
like
that
the
I'm
whole
not.
relationship is just so hot and spicy that it's easy once the kids come to kind of start neglecting the marriage. And that's what I've learned. I've learned that really putting your marriage before the kids. I know we talk about it all the time, but I'm like, I didn't think I would like see it. My toddlers, I poured into those toddlers. They were so cute. And I kind of recognized like I have got to keep our marriage a priority.
Yeah, no,
And I
that's
hope
good for sure.
couples can recognize
And
that
I
at the end of the day, it is just the two of you again.
and I think this is I'm not going to say every person or every marriage, but I think for the majority of marriages, the husbands pretty much will put their marriage first
I think
in a lot
so.
of ways.
Yeah. Depending on the
Yeah,
marriage.
and it's
Yeah.
the women, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, that kind of move in the direction of the kids and neglect the marriage. And then the husband's like,
And then the
okay,
husbands start pouring into the kids because the wife is
or
neglecting the marriage, right?
or then the husbands are like, all right, I'm gonna go get some hobbies or work more or
Right.
do
Right.
whatever because, obviously don't feel like my wife wants to
I
work
think
too.
that you
So
pour into where you feel the most loved, right? So if your kids are always giving you
yeah,
that, it's easy to pour into them. If it's something else that's easy, that's giving you the love, like your job or your hobbies, like if we're both pouring into each other, then we're gonna pour in more, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, love
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
Love
your
that.
turn. I talked a lot.
All right. Just remember that these things, just because these are things that I thought, doesn't mean that you still can't have a great passionate marriage. So,
Okay.
um, number two, Amy was all over me before we got married.
I knew you were gonna say this.
Most of the time, like it's the guy that's pursuing the girl and kissing and things like that. Like Amy
That's
was
pretty forward, sorry.
all over me forward. I was like, holy smokes,
This is
this is
amazing.
incredible. Like I'm gonna live the rest of my life like this. And
Sorry.
that lasted about
A couple years.
a couple years. And then
I had a kid.
there was a death. There was a death in the family. Not really a death. The death was her libido. And it got buried in like
You got me pregnant.
10 feet of concrete. It's like a life sentence. It's never coming out. Anyways, I say that, but on the other end, Amy's been amazing, and we talk about this all the time in podcasts. Even though she doesn't have that drive, she still prioritizes it, and tries to make that a priority, which I really appreciate. But again, I think I went into marriage thinking, oh my goodness, like this is gonna we're gonna have it's gonna be amazing, and we're really gonna have to work on it because we're both so attracted to each other.
So what we need to do is what you're saying is start a newlywed class for people that are preparing to get married and warn them that when she gets pregnant, has children and her hormone changes and her body changes and age changes her and she's not going to stay the same person. Shocker.
So this is the
You didn't know that, did
this is
you?
the ultimate intimacy podcast. We're trying to turn things around, and so you're saying just up front, just tell them, hey, I'm sorry. um,
I'm
before
saying
you get married, here's the bad news.
that men should understand that women go through a lot.
But we don't because
You don't. Your bodies don't change like ours do. And so I think
that's what I'm saying
yeah,
is we don't because
we don't talk about it.
all we know, and we've talked about this before, all I know is how I feel and how my body works. So
Right.
when I'm like have that strong drive and that attraction and things like that, that's all I know. I don't know what it's like to not have that. So in a man's mind, we're thinking, okay, what's wrong? Why is my wife not feeling the same way I do? And that is why it's so important to talk about things. We've talked about this often. Amy and I have had deep discussions. I need to understand, like, where you're coming from and why you don't have the desire. And she's trying to understand why I have such a strong drive and desire. And we research and we do studies and find out why men are typically this way and women are typically this way. Not all the time, because sometimes they're reversed. And try to understand and say, okay, how do we meet each other's needs in the middle, right?
Mhm.
You're just smiling.
I just
You're
have a
over
lot
there
of
just
thoughts.
taking it all in.
I just wanted to like, I know there's a lot of spouses, and sometimes it goes the other way around. We get that. Like sometimes there's a lot where the men lose their drive or other things happen, and the wife, we get that. I was just gonna say, as an analogy, I think a lot of women listening are like, "Well, you did all these romantic things and made dinner and gave me flowers and took me on all these dates, and then I kind of stopped. I missed that too."
Okay.
I'm not saying you.
Okay.
I'm not saying you. I'm just
But
saying,
for the couples out there that are thinking that, okay, if you're thinking that, then
talk about
rather
it.
than just using that as an excuse, like talk about it. Say,
Right.
you know what?
Agreed.
I might be in the mood more if you do these things. Don't just say, well, he's not doing these things and not say anything to him or vice versa.
No, I
Like
agree.
talk about those things and say, you know, our marriage isn't where we want it to be, or our intimacy isn't where we want it to be. How do we make this better? And if there's a problem, let's talk about these things and try to figure it out versus,
I
again,
agree.
just saying, well, pointing the finger at each other. Because
Mhm.
because honestly, in marriage, like if that's what you want to do, you could do that all day long. Everyone could point the finger at each other all day long, but that's not the goal, right? The goal is like let's get over things maybe that bug us, or let's get realize that our marriage isn't going to be the fairy tale that we watch in a movie, right? Like that's
Mhm.
just not how most marriages are. They're realistic.
They change.
Yeah, seasons
Relationships
change.
change. Love changes. I've been trying to teach my daughter that. I'm like, there's going to be different stages of love. This is the fun, exciting part. It's going to get deeper. It's going to change. It's going to, like it just, yeah. You have to keep it passionate and exciting after a lot of years. So, yeah. Okay.
We are just going to be real in this
We're real.
podcast, and sometimes it's not
And
always going to be what people want to hear, but it's what they need to hear, what we need to
and
hear.
Nick is gonna just have to deal with my changes, and I'm just gonna have to deal with a lot of his changes. Like that's
Sure.
marriage, and we have to talk about it, right? And we have to be number one, back to the patience.
And
We have
that's
to be patient with those
and that's
changes.
okay to deal with those things. Like there's nothing
That's normal.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's normal.
Yeah, like you make it work.
Okay, mine goes right along with yours. Actually, it's
Okay.
like the perfect.
You didn't know that I was going to be just on fire for 24 years, just like, oh my goodness, leave me
Thought you would
alone.
die down just a little bit. Still hoping for that. Might start praying for it. No, just kidding.
I think I've gotten worse with
I
it.
did not say that. I'm gonna get hate mail for saying that.
Amy contacted him and said, "Hey, do you guys make a Diagra?"
No, I didn't.
And they said,
Someone's
"No,
gonna
I've
believe
never
you.
heard of that."
Someone's gonna believe you.
Okay, that's not true.
My next one was I can still have a passionate marriage as the lower drive spouse as long as my attitude is in the right place. Today, okay, this might be too TMI for some of you, but not too TMI.
That's not too TMI. This is the ultimate intimacy podcast.
Nick came to me this morning and he's like, "Can we please make love today if you're in the mood?" And I've said, "If I'm in the mood, I'm not usually in the mood." He's like, "Oh." I'm like, "You mean if I'm willing to get in the mood?" He's like, "Sorry, I worded that wrong." I'm like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am."
Let me rephrase that. Can we start over? Can we make a new introduction this morning?
Yeah, let's just say it right. Okay, so that was my point though, is as long as my attitude is in the right place and I'm willing to get in the mood, our marriage can still be passionate. And I think that that's a really something I've learned. Something I've learned over the years.
Yeah.
It's all like, and not even just about that, but your attitude in like so many different things. Like I notice my marriage being much better the days that I just have a good attitude about my day. And I noticed our really, really hard years when things were just getting to me worse and worse. And my attitude was getting worse and it got harder. And then things got harder. And then my attitude it's just, gosh, everything kind of just starts with attitude. Agreed. Attitude of gratitude, like you always say, right?
Gratitude, yeah. So yeah, funny, I was just literally going to say that.
I can read your mind.
Yeah, you know me. Well, it's true. We were in the shower the other day. I don't mean to get off script.
You say this all the time.
She's like, "I know exactly what you're thinking." I'm like, "Bring it on."
And
she's like, "Well, you're thinking this, and I'm like, "All right, hold on." Like, You should be a sidekick. Why are we just in ultimate intimacy when you literally could be having a crystal ball telling people what they're thinking?
Can I just go to my number four since you literally just made that comment? Because it goes right in hand with it.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. This is
Okay.
your lead.
Okay. I haven't, Nick doesn't have a number four, so he's going to end the
No, I got
podcast
a
with
number
his next
three. Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you've got one more, but I'm going to add this one real quick. My fourth thing that I kind of came up with was even though I would love my husband to read my mind and feel like he should, he can't. And it's because our minds are different by reason.
Yeah.
Except for I can read his mind, so I kind of expected him to read my mind.
Yeah. I mean,
There's like three things on his mind usually, so I can guess
yeah,
them.
that's why you expect me to read your mind is because you're like, I can
And then
totally read your mind.
like we talked about is like
Let me
100 tabs open at once, so who knows?
As we're in the shower naked together, let me tell you what you're thinking.
Hey, that's when I did it, and it had nothing to do with that.
I was just gonna say that was the one time we were together naked that I wasn't thinking
No,
about
you
that.
weren't. You weren't at all, and I totally called it. So, anyways, to get serious though, I have learned in marriage, even though I would love for him to read my mind, that is not ever going to happen. It's not going to happen. He looks at things different than me. He feels things different than me. He is a man. I am a woman. My brain is a totally different place most of the time.
And I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if I want to know what's going on in her mind.
Why? What
Um,
does that mean?
just with all if I all right,
You better
women have
clarify right now.
let me clarify
Could
because
get in trouble.
as I look back 10 seconds ago, that didn't sound right. Let me clarify, see if I can clarify.
Fighting on our podcast a lot, just go jump on our YouTube channel. We're usually smiling at each other. Everyone like says you guys sounded so mad. I'm like, maybe you should go watch the video where we're actually laughing.
Where we're laughing, you can't see, yeah, can't see our
See our
expressions.
expressions.
Okay, let me grab the shovel, dig the hole.
You
And
didn't say anything bad. I just wanted you to clarify.
no, because you talk about this all the time. You're like, I always have so many things on my mind. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do this, my practicing the piano. I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, oh my heck, that sounds like a tornado going on.
It is. It is.
Like,
and that's why I'm tired.
Serenity now, serenity now. So that was the point I was trying to make is like, I don't know if I want to see that tornado.
No, you
I'm
don't.
just gonna,
You don't.
I'm just gonna assume.
You'd be like, why? Why do you have so many tabs opened in your mind?
Yeah,
Why don't you just
that's a
close
good
them?
way to think of it is a computer with 10,000 tabs open,
I've already shared that analogy before.
which is really funny because when I have a bunch of tabs open on my computer, I'm like, all right, I gotta limit these. Like
You
I'm
can
cool
do
with one or two, yeah. And a woman can have like 50,000, which if I looked at, I'd be like, oh my goodness,
I'm
like
so
I can't even.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm so overwhelmed. So that's a way that our brains work differently.
Mental load. It's a real
The
thing.
mental load.
Mental load. It's real.
Yeah, so that was
It's real.
my comment. Hopefully, I clarified those remarks.
That was a fine comment, and I agree. You don't want to see my mind, and it's not because it's. I was gonna say it's not because it's dirty. I was like, if it was dirty, you'd probably then you'd want to see it.
Oh, wow.
Anyways,
if your mind
it's so like focused on to do tasks that you're like, that is so boring. I definitely don't want to see that. Okay.
I don't need to.
Anyways,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, your turn.
All right. Oh, the next one is the way you were raised or your background and experiences makes a huge difference in how you approach life and marriage.
Oh my goodness, does it?
I mean, I think even just simple things as like the personality of your family and just so many of those things. Like if you're, you know, I mean, we can use an example. Like always being early to things or being late to things or even just on time. Something that they may sound so simple and lame. Just like I was always raised like you be on time for things, right? So I'm early or I'm prompt. Yeah, you're better. You're better. So, or the big one for us was, I grew up where I had a father that's always like, work for yourself, right? Don't work for someone else. And that was one of the things that caused a lot of conflict in our relationship. Because Amy came from the background where her dad, if he needed to have 6 jobs, he would have 6 jobs. He would do whatever it took. And so
he was a great father.
He was a great guy. And so and there's no right or wrong, but it's just your perception of things, how you were raised. So naturally, you're going to see things differently, right? Mm-hmm. And I think early on in our marriage, I was more of just like, okay, this is the way I was raised. This is the right way. instead of like talking about that with Amy and saying, hey, how do we, what do we do in our relationship together, right? Did I hit that right?
Yeah.
You're smiling, so I think I hit that right.
I just like yeah,
Dude,
anyways.
our first X amount of years of marriage were awful. And I look back and I'm like,
Because and I
not awful, not awful in the standpoint of
no.
like necessarily Amy and I, but the things that I put us through that I probably didn't need to
Okay,
put us
let me
through.
just explain really quick while those people listening. The financial problems that we went through that just like literally almost broke us was because his mentality was don't get a job, don't get a job, don't work for someone, you have to be self-employed. But that dragged out over a 10-year span of no income and me having to be financial supportive
Yeah.
while raising little tiny kids, 4 of them at home.
While I was trying to get some businesses off.
And my dad worked a full-time job and owned his own business. And so I came from a husband should provide. It's not that a wife can't help, but a husband should provide. That was the mindset that I came from, and not that all the weight should be on my shoulders. And so it was for years and years. And I'm like, I feel like there should be a paycheck coming in from you too. And it's not that he wasn't trying. It's just we looked at things differently, and it really hurt us because he was being stubborn. And I was like, oh, yeah, I thought that you would put it on the table, kind of thing. And so, anyways, we're here. We're good. We got through it. We've learned how to communicate. We have now launched an entire business helping marriages because we don't want anyone to have to go through stuff that we went through.
It's funny how you learn. I mean, I think our whole experience is the whole reason we're here helping couples is because we were such at a broken point. We implemented some tools and started learning how to communicate and just different things. And I mean, that's the whole reason we launched the app. You came up with that idea is because of things that we started changing. And I think there are a lot of couples out there, whether it's financial or, so many other things that are looking for the right tools to help their marriage. And so, I mean, that's
agreed. And we've realized that, yeah, we've talked a lot about surface level stuff, a lot about sexual and emotional intimacy. That's why we brought in a therapist on Fridays, hopefully as many Fridays as we can it might not be every single week, but like as much as we can to deal with some of the harder stuff that you guys are dealing with so that you can, bring back that passion and excitement. We just did that episode recently with Austin on betrayal and hurt, and that you can come back from that. And I just think it's pretty awesome that like people that are really broken could come back and like have an amazing intimate life again. Like it is possible. That's what the last episode or one of the recent one was about, was just having that hope that you can come back. And so that's our point. But just to wrap up today, like I just think it's interesting, like you get married, nobody really teaches you what marriage looks like. You come from different backgrounds with different parents. Some model healthy marriage, some are a mess of a marriage. Some aren't even married. I mean, we come from all these different backgrounds, upbringings, past beliefs, like you said, and it can really, really wreak havoc on a relationship when you weren't taught how to have healthy tools, right? And I know I've said this before, but we had a newlywed couple come to one of our retreats a few years ago, and we're like, "Why are you here? Like, are you struggling already?" Because they were like brand new married, and they're like, "Oh, we have a great marriage. We're so excited to be married. We're just here to learn tools to keep it awesome." And I'm like, that is the coolest thing I have ever heard.
Yeah, it really is.
We've never even thought of something like that when we first got married. And so
our ego, like, why we need to go to a marriage retreat?
Well, we did fine for a lot of years. So it was like, we're good, and then all of a sudden trials start pouring in and kids start pouring in.
But the point is like going and getting those tools even before you need them. I mean, that's why we do our marriage retreats. It's like, oh, I wish we would have had this. Like, even every time we attend our own retreat, I walk out of there and we're like, oh my heck, like I was like amazing. Yeah. Learned so much. Yeah. So
anyway, so those are the things that we have been most shocked by in marriage. Not shocked, but just have learned and been like, wow, I had no idea I was gonna like be tested in that area or learn that. So anyways, I would love to do a podcast episode where our audience chimes in and emails us things that they've learned over the span of their marriage, kind of like what we just shared, and kind of talk about some of the things that other people have shared. I think that would be a really fun episode. So
let's put out a poll.
So I was just saying, if you're listening and you're like, okay, if I was to add to that list, what would I add? Will you email us and let us know? I'd love to start a list and do another episode on that. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, just email us at amy@ultimateintimacy.com. I'm usually the one that answers them unless you need to hear from Amy, just ask. But yeah, just email them to us. That'll be great. And we'll do a podcast episode on
something let me clarify, something that you have learned or that kind of shocked you that you've had to figure out over marriage, something that was just, one of those experiences like, wow, I had no idea I was getting to this, but this is what I learned from it, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I think that's great. Well,
Okay.
we hope you enjoy the podcast. Tried to make this one a little bit funner and a little bit lighter. We'll have Austin on with us. So listen to our Friday podcast with him. If you feel like you need a little more in-depth help on a therapy type level, you'll be seeing a lot more of him. So we really appreciate you listening to us. And we hope all of you have a happy Valentine's Day. That's coming up.
Do
Do
something sweet
something
for
fun.
you.
That's
Do
right.
something sweet for your spouse. If you're listening to our podcast, there's no reason your spouse should not have a great Valentine's Day. I can promise you that even if a wife is like, I don't want anything, she does. Either write her a note, you don't have to spend money. If she misses getting flowers, if you have her favorite treat, if you want to take her on this big romantic amazing date, do something. It's on a Saturday night this year. It's Saturday night. No excuse, right? If a husband was like, I got a babysitter, I have a night planned for us, so romantic, guys. Make her candlelight dinner when the kids are in bed. I don't care. Do something special and do something for him too. Write him a love note. Initiate that day. Just tell him that you love him and you're grateful for him. Greet him at the door. Like just those little things that men are like, I will feel so loved if you just did that,
Yeah,
So
I agree.
what is your spouse's love language? Do something that speaks to that. That's all I'm asking.
I love that. That's a great way to end.
It's a great way to end.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the podcast, and until next time.